Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another Island Fans show, and you're wondering why are we doing a show at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon here in Antigua? It's because it's transfer deadline day, and in just 59 minutes at 6 o'clock p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, the transfer time is over in England and Spain at least. I think France is an extra hour, but
Uh,
we are going to be with you until then, talking about some of the latest transfers. And I believe we just can confirm that a new transfer is has just come out there. We're running straight, jumping right into it, and it's going to be amazing as you look about that. So, what exactly is that transfer, Shaq? Can you tell us?
this the I don't know, I mean, the lot of transfers popping in and out. I don't know if you're
Uh huh.
referring to the Griezmann one.
Yes, the Griezmann one, definitely. That threw me off completely when I saw it happen there. The deal is done, and Atletico have resigned Antoine Griezmann from Barcelona. The deal is a loan with a buy option for 40 million. And for all the Atletico fans out there, Griezmann is back. Okay, so throughout the show, if we have any other breaking news, things that change, transfers, small or great, when you see this particular graphic, you'll know that a new transfer is coming out. All right. So if you have any questions and thoughts on any of these transfers, just of course, shout out to us there in the comment section, and we are going to talk about it. So, Shaq, what do you think? Griezmann is back at Atletico. Good for him. Good for his career.
I think that's good for him, good for his career. I think he got the chance to play with one of the world's best in Lionel Messi, and he took the
Hmm.
opportunity. I mean, you can't be mad at him. But I do believe that he and Diego Simeone has a good thing going, or had a good thing going, and I think it can
Yeah.
happen again. And I think we will see the best of Griezmann at Atletico in comparison to what we saw at Barcelona.
Definitely, I agree with you. He had some of his best years there. It felt like Atletico, he was just a square peg in round holes. He's had such great
Yeah,
quality, but he just didn't feel
yeah,
like he was ever fit in the team.
you're right,
You
Josh.
know,
Because it felt
yeah,
most times I'm watching the game, it felt like hey, we have Griezmann. Oh, let's just put Griezmann on the pitch, and it
yeah.
seemed like it looked like it's not happening a lot. There's no chemistry, there was no fluidity in the movement. When we talk about Barcelona teams, we know how they play. But then when we look
Mm,
at MSN, to when you plug in Griezmann into that mix, it didn't seem to have that same effect. Yes, I know it's different
mm,
players, but I think
hmm.
Griezmann should be able to just slot right in. I mean, that
I know,
doesn't mean
right?
he's a bad player. That doesn't mean he's a
No,
bad
he's
player.
not. He's not.
Teams just don't, some players don't work out with some teams, and it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Barcelona obsessed says finally it happened. I'm super happy he's gone. He continues. He wasn't the best fit for us. It was never going to work out. Best move
Yeah,
for everyone.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely the
Yeah.
best move for him.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems that way. I mean, he's such an excellent player. I remember even United would link with him at one point in time. He was supposed to be the new number seven for us, but then he got that move. I can't blame him. Barcelona is a step up from Atletico, but going back to Atletico now, and them having just won the title, him and Suarez together, that might end up being some deadly combination there in Spain. Big ups to Moy
True.
as well too. Show him some love here. I know, and everybody else that's joining in. Of course, if others like transfers in football, send them this link right now. Let them know that we're talking transfers. If they
Definitely.
want to come in, they can jump in. Even if they want to make a quick comment about anything they've heard. If they get some news too, or they want a particular thing to happen, they can throw that in there as
But
well. Good shot.
Josh, let me throw this one out. I mean, let's talk about this team. They haven't made any move on this particular day, transfer deadline day. But I think it's worth mentioning that we all thought that Manchester City would have bought a striker. Coming
Yeah.
into the season, towards the back end of last season, we all thought Sergio Aguero is out. Certainly, they're going to get Harry Kane. Certainly, they're going
Yeah.
to be mentioned. There was mentioned with the big name strikers who are out there.
Hmm.
They haven't bought a striker. They only spent
No.
100 million on Grealish. Yes, it's a big payout, but that pure number nine, they're still
Mm.
missing that person. I mean, do they need one? Yes or no? I mean, they hit Arsenal for 5.
Well,
They
I
hit
know, right? Well,
Norwich for 5 the week before that too. So they
yeah.
free scoring without a striker.
I guess the key thing comes back down to the fact that for me, when you hear Man City fans talk, they say simply like, "Oh, a number 9 would have been nice, but we scored 10 goals already for the season. I only concede one." So from their perspective, they're like, "My team is fine." But what I look at is the fact that you played Tottenham and they beat you 1-0. And I believe those are the games that they lost last season in the crucial times where they have their plan A and they do their Pep style of play. And then now when that doesn't work, what's your plan B? You don't have a plan B option where they're pure number 9. And I look at the games like the Champions League final, some of those chances, man, boy, Harry Kane would have put away, and it'd been a different game. And so the thing is, can he continue with his style? I know Pep is stubborn. Pep will keep playing the way he
Yeah.
plays. I don't
I
expect him
get
to
results
change.
so far.
Yeah, and he get results so far. But the question is that when that doesn't work, what will he do? And I'm not entirely sure that Ferran Torres can be that person in the long run. I think he's in the same mold of a midfielder that really is playing in a false 9 role and get the job done. He's not a Harry
Right,
Kane. He's not a Cristiano.
because City create so many chances. I
Mhm.
think anybody who is closest to the goal will score goals.
You're correct. You're correct. You're correct. Crystal Palace has signed Eduard, is his last name, from Celtic on a permanent transfer for 20 million. Crystal Palace needs some people. How much of a help do you think he's going to be to the squad?
To be fair,
Hmm.
okay, I've watched this player a while because Arsenal were linked with him.
Hmm.
But as it relates to Crystal Palace, I don't see how he fixes the problem of them stopping goals. Yes, they have a
Mm.
problem with scoring goals, but I think that okay, he's a big name, but I don't see how he
Yeah.
helps Crystal Palace really and truly. He has to
So
prove
they're
me
going down
wrong,
for
and I
you.
believe that he can.
Hmm.
But this is a transfer. I'm here and I'm saying I just have to wait and see how that goes
I agree.
because they
I
have
gotta wait and see.
Benteke is
Hmm.
not no slouch.
Hmm.
Hadn't gone well for him. Zaha, he's there. They're waiting on what's his name? Eze to come back. I know when Eze comes
Yeah.
back, Eze can create some more goals for him, which
Mm.
could definitely be a plus. But this is one where I say I just have to wait and see how this one goes.
Mm. But Barcelona he says here, Atletico clear favorites for the league and even UCL now. He says Saul going to Chelsea was the key, in my opinion, for that transfer. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Saul. In fact, he's one of those same transfers that we can discuss. Apparently, I know for a while there, Man United were looking at him, Chelsea were looking at him, but it seems as though Chelsea have got the deal done. They've signed Saul Niguez from Atletico on loan to come over them. So it's not even a
Right.
permanent transfer. Shaq, what you thought about that? I mean, why do loan versus permanent transfer? What do they have to gain?
I guess it's finances. I guess that's what
Mm,
it's come
okay.
down to: finances, letting the money spread around, balancing
Yeah.
book. I guess that's what
Yeah.
it comes down to. Because
Uh,
yes, the 5 million loan option, and then I guess when next year come, there's an obligation. Because I'm pretty sure Atletico would have made it an obligation rather than an option. But I'm just looking at this one too, and I'm saying that this is a good move.
yeah.
When I started transfer, when
Yeah.
I started earlier, Fabrizio was saying, this deal is off, it's not happening. I'm glad because I've
Mm.
looked at
So
him for years. Go ahead, Josh.
yeah, he's a really good player for real. I wanted him in my team too. He's that all action kind of guy. But my question is,
Yeah.
who does he take out of the team though? He has to
Mm.
start.
Jorginho stays, so it must be
Hmm.
Kovacic
Hmm. So what are those cases when
or
they?
maybe Kante
I was gonna say that.
because
Yeah. Does
Kante
Kante
doesn't
lose the
play.
spot?
Kante doesn't sit. Jorginho sits,
Hmm. Wow.
so
Well,
it's probably Kante,
competition for places, most definitely. To
which
see
is
that
what you
happen.
want, right?
Yeah, that's what you want. And I
What
think it's
you
also a
want.
low risk option too by putting him on loan instead of buying him. you get to test out the car really, and only pay less.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But,
Because I
but
mean,
Josh, I have
yeah,
some sorry, if you just could just go back to Edward, because
sure,
I
no
just saw
problem.
some stats from him here on Twitter. It says in 179 games he
Mm,
has scored 86 goals, 39 assists, and he has won 7 trophies over there at Celtic.
wow. I mean,
So he
he
knows
does
to find
have.
the back of the net.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. And playing on a big club like Celtic over there, there's expectations that come with it. So he's obviously looking for that next step, and
Yeah.
20 million is a lot for this club, to put out for a player. So I mean, will the expectation be too much for him? For a player going to Crystal Palace, especially after their record so far for the season, I don't think so. I think he goes in there with not a lot of pressure
Yeah,
and
no,
figures, you know
no
what,
pressure.
bang the goals in. Definitely bang the goals in. But I mean, what I love about Chelsea, man, is that Abramovich doesn't have any issues investing in his squad. You know, he was able to knock off that dead weight, and the man go say, "We need a striker." The man look on the Champions League final and say, "I can't rely on Kai Havertz to give me 30 goals this season." Nope. The man go buy Lukaku, bram, 100 and something mil after
Yeah.
pursuing Haaland for so long. It's Haaland he really wanted, you know. And then now, after that, now you see the man say, "Let me improve on the already world class midfield I have, and go get myself another great midfielder that everybody wanted." So I mean, big ups to Chelsea, boy.
But this is how they do business. And one thing, I think they've been very prudent in the way how they've done their business over the years. Yes, we see Chelsea is free spending, and of course they have a lot of players out on loan. However, Chelsea have already
Mm.
recouped that Lukaku money.
Yeah, they
Tammy
already have.
Abraham went for what, 40 something million from that,
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah, he
49,
did.
I think.
And
I
then
mean that,
Tomori as well too went for 30 something as well
yeah,
too. So
to
for them
the AC
two man
Milan,
to AC Milan, yeah. Yeah,
it's
and
good
on the
business.
liquor players, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million here they
Yep,
made from
it
other
adds up.
French players. It adds up. It really does add up for them. Really great business from them as well. Let's talk about this now, right here. All right. I mean, phew, a transfer a lot of people didn't expect, and another great player. Shaq, tell us about this player.
Alex Kral. I watched him a bit in the Euros that just gone
Mm,
there. He, of course, he come from the same country with Suchek and Kufal, and of course,
mm,
they all at West Ham. If you the announcement video, ironically, the announcement video for Kral included Suchek and Kufal. They all on international break. They all on
mm,
international break, and they all announced him together. So. I I haven't watched him enough to say, okay, you know
yeah.
what, these are his strengths and these are his weaknesses. But from what I'm hearing, that he has a high ceiling. He has a high ceiling. He's a really good player. He's a really good talent, I should say. He's a really good talent, and we have to see what happens. What I
Mm-hmm.
would say though, why I have confidence in this transfer, David
Yeah.
Moyes and West Ham, they usually buy well. Let me go back to David
Mm,
Moyes. David Moyes,
mm,
even his time at Everton. You look at some of the
yeah.
players that he brought through, Pina, Arteta was there with him. A lot of those signings were on the radar signings, and
Yeah.
they played very well. He got them ticking. So I think that Carl will come and he will slot right in. I think he can play multiple positions as well, centre
Yeah.
back or even defensive midfield. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is a transfer that I think that even if he is not 8 out of 10 type of player, I think David
Yeah.
Moyes will get him ticking and ticking well.
And you're right. The best place to go is West Ham because West Ham seem to have a crop of players right now that they're not world class, but they're
Right.
just good enough to put up a challenge. Look, people like Kufa, he's been doing really really well, and he's been under the radar for a while. Suchek as well too has been doing well. He did well in the Euros as well too. Kufa did well in the Euros as well too. And then you look at people like Antonio as well too on top. Didn't make the England
Antonio,
team, but
but
he's
that's a
he's he's
revelation
banging
right
in the
there.
goals. Yeah. So if they stumbled on another gem situation, big ups to West Ham as well too that they get. We have here an opinion. Moyes is from Barcelona obsessed. Moyes is underrated. All right. Now, it's funny you say that because a couple years ago, nobody would say that. Pre-West Ham days, I don't think a lot of people would probably say that. After leaving United, then going to Spain, then coming back. He's just been bouncing around for a while, but I'm happy
But
that he's found a place in West Ham.
to be fair, we knew that, or it could have been inferred that we knew that there was something with David Moyes. I think the rumor was,
Mm-hmm.
and Josh, you can confirm, he was handpicked by Sir
Yeah,
Alex. Handpicked
he
by Sir
was.
Alex, of course. Yeah, if we're claiming that Sir Alex is a great manager, which we
Mm-hmm.
know he was, then for
Mm-hmm.
him to handpick David Moyes, it must be something about David Moyes. So yes, I
Yeah.
agree with Barcelona. Obsessed. So here, that he is
Mm-hmm.
underrated. He's been doing the business. I always thought, and this was me. I was kind of, and again, I say, as an Arsenal fan, watching him
Yeah.
move from Everton to United, I thought, you know what, this could be trouble because
Yeah.
he kept Everton in that fifth, sixth place every season without when he didn't have money to spend.
True.
I was thinking, you know what? He goes to Man United. Man United gives him money, supports him, backs him. He could be trouble. It didn't work
Yeah.
out. Of course, I was glad that he didn't work out. But it's really good to see David Moyes, back doing his thing.
And the thing about David Moyes too, somebody asked Alex, so what one of the things you'd say didn't work out for him. He's saying one, he didn't get the results, and it's a results business. And
Yeah,
two, he played too slow. That was the problem. And three, the style of play that he did, he likes a lot of. I mean, Man United have always been good for speedy wingers, right? But they like goal scoring wingers as well too. That can chip in there. And the way he played didn't fit the squad because at that point in time, the squad needed an overhaul. So Alex squeezed the last bit of blood out of that stone, and the club needed to back him. And those are early signs when the Glazers were going to say, we ain't going to back anybody. Because then the only
yeah,
person he brought in that transfer window there was Fellaini. And then when he talked to him about after the fact, I feel he came from Everton. He talked to him after the fact. He said he had deals for Tony Cruz. He had deals for Ramos. All kind of some they were working behind the scenes for David Moyes. And none of them pan out. They just didn't put the money and the deals didn't go through. It's funny how that works.
yeah.
Somebody came to your mind.
Timing is everything, isn't it?
Yeah, timing is everything. All right. So let's continue. Let's talk a little more. And then speaking of United, United just sold a player. Daniel James is an exciting team, and I believe it can achieve anything. All right. We sold him for, they say 30 mil. I've been hearing 28. So let's call it 30 mil signing for Leeds. A little backstory here about Daniel James, though. 2 years ago, Leeds United put in a bid for Daniel James when he was at Swansea. And everything was already signed up. There are actually pictures of Daniel James holding a Leeds United shirt. He went
Yeah,
there, signed all the documentation, but apparently on Swansea's end, they didn't finish up their end, and so then he ended up not going to Leeds and staying at Swansea. Bielsa has been looking at him for a while now, admiring him for a while now. Leeds have been wanting him for a while now, and the United came in the summer after, and of course with the recommendation from Ryan Giggs and that connection, he ended up at United. So, I mean, a lot of United fans honestly say that, yes, Leeds are our old-time rivals. We don't like them. But Daniel James, every time he came on the pitch, he put in a shift. He put in a solid shift. He did the business in terms of what he could do. And you see a theme with a lot of United fans. You see them saying things like, hope the best for him, but he couldn't get any better than how he is now. No, nobody knows the future. He couldn't. But the fact of the matter is, everybody's saying his end product was awful, speed merchant, but he did work hard, always tracked back, always gave 100%. It's just that he would never turn into a world beater. And that would have been amazing too with all that speed. Shot.
question.
Yeah.
Do you think, before I give my opinion on this move, do you think that the pressure of being at a club like Manchester United, as opposed to a club like Leeds,
Mhm.
was what should I say, was the roadblock to Dan James becoming that, okay, maybe not world beater, but becoming
Mhm.
that much better player than we saw at Man United?
I think so. Because I tell people all the time, when I watch him at Wales, he do things at Wales he doesn't do at United. And I think it comes down to the manager. I'm not going to blame Ollie because Ollie's always believed in him. Ollie play him all the time. But the fact that when he goes to Wales, he know you have the left wing spot for himself. That's just him. He on one side, Bale on the other. And he always know that. He may always start for Wales. But when he comes to United now, that's a different story. Especially on that left hand side, he can have Rashford, he can have Martial, he can have Greenwood in the left or right. He could be thinking to himself, it's not my spot. I have to fight for my spot. So that was always a big thing for Daniel James. And so the confidence never really was there. I was looking at his Instagram the other day and I was saying he has 2 million followers on Instagram. That means he has more followers than Leeds United. So, I mean, he's moving to the club. So Daniel James bigger than Leeds United. Not in terms of history, but at least in terms of popularity right now. So this is why I'm happy for him, because going there now, it wasn't a big transfer fee, but I think it's a transfer fee that flatters him slightly. At $30 million, he goes there and they say, look, we've been going after you for 2 years now. They can't stick him on the bench. He got to start. And he starts on the left-hand side. And with their all action, fast paced, it fits his all running mentality, And if he ends up doing well, he may get score versus United. But if he ends up doing well, then I'm happy with him, man. He's a great $30 million back to me, and I hope between now and 6 o'clock, United takes that 30 mil and then goes and buys Ruben Neves. That'd be great. So I'm hoping Shaq, you look at me any point now and tell me, breaking news, United have signed Ruben Neves. I'm really, really hoping for that right now. Y'all have had a great window. I should have asked so much more.
38 minutes to go. So I don't know if you still remain hopeful, but as your friend, I'm telling you, I think you can quell that desire right now. Quell that desire right now. But on this Daniel James one though, Josh, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move for him. I think it's a good move for Leeds, and his chances at United were coming to an end. He wasn't going to get a lot of games. Yes, Manchester United would be and still have the Carabao Cup, FA Cup. There will be games. There will be games. But I just don't think that his time he would have gotten better at United. When I look at this move, I just think that this is confidence for the youth. I think it's confidence for Daniel James going in, and he's just gonna go. I think he smash it. I think, you know what? I know we big on the fantasy. I think Daniel James is one to put in your fantasy. I say this now. I think he could bring some points. Be one of those differential picks.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to think about doing that, because he's going to start and he does create chances. I mean, as I said to you, I think he just needs a manager to believe in him. And I would do it if I were him. You're going to start, you make more money, and your popularity is on the rise. Why not leave? You had your stint at the big club, and Leeds is a big club. Leeds is a big club too, They just, they had a few years where they dropped off a bit. But, if you know the history, they're a big club. You got some people here who say, Lyndon Lawrence is blessing, guys. Big up to you, bro. Thanks for supporting Island fans, And then Shimon is dislike this transfer window. I can understand why. I mean, but, you didn't get all the signings you wanted.
Though? He spent 100 million.
Yeah, on one player. So I think they want more. But from a United perspective, we're going to talk more about that in our Thursday show. I would honestly say this is probably the best, especially if I feel right now as a United fan, I feel greedy by saying getting Ruben Neves would make it perfect, because he's already such a great transfer window, and primarily because of this next guy right here, Cristiano Ronaldo. CR7, or I like to call him CR Heaven, because he's heaven to me, has joined the squad, and there that comment there too, Leeds is bigger than City. They are actually. He has joined Man United. Of course, his medical, everything went through. He's off with Portugal right now, but everything has been sorted out, and he is a part of the squad. And look, right, it's just a simple transfer fee to bring him over, but all in all, though, we're going to be paying him a whole ton of wages, but it's worth it, though. It's worth it, because he already sent a nice little comment there to all the fans about how he felt. Yeah, I really should read it, about how he felt to the fans and so forth. I read it here for you. It says, everyone who knows me knows about my never-ending love for Man United. The years I spent in this club were absolutely amazing, and the path we've made together is written in gold letters in the history of this great and amazing institution. I can't even start to explain my feelings right now as I see my return to Old Trafford announced worldwide. It's like a dream come true. After all the times that I've went back to play against Man United, and even as an opponent, to have always felt such love and respect from the supporters in the stands. This is absolutely 100% the stuff that dreams are made of. My first domestic league, my first cup, my first call to the Portuguese national team, my first Champions League, my first Golden Boot, and my first Ballon d'Or, they were all born from this special connection with the Red Devils. History has been written in the past, and history will be written once again. You have my word. I'm right here. I'm back where I belong. Let's make it happen. P.S. Sir Alex, this one is for you. We all know Sir Alex played a major role in this, and United fans, he's not the same Ronaldo that left you. You no longer he's a speedy, tricky winger. Now he's a number 9.
That's gonna be my first question.
He's 36, and he only has one job: no tracking back, no defending, just come and score the goals, finish those chances. And so as a United fan, I'm happy for it. I'm just waiting for them to start with this number story. And according to some from Memphis, a frequent important person on the show, he reminded me that now Daniel James is gone. He had 21. So Cavani, who liked 21, can get 21, and we can give CR7 this number 7. That's the only way we can do that without having to go to the Premier League for information. Shaq.
I see. I know. What is this? I know if you don't do that, you still have to go to the Premier League to do. I think I remember the right term for it. So let me leave it alone. But I think it's necessary that he gets the 7 because it's a brand. Players right now, they're a brand. CR7 is a brand. So I mean, it would do much more for United than it would do much more for the Premier League than it would even probably do for United, because they're getting one of the world's best players coming back to finish the career there. I mean, it's not like if he is a regular 36-year-old. He's not. Yes, he's not the Man United who left all those years ago, but he's still quality. I mean, like you just outlined there, Josh. He's not that tricky winger that's going to get the ball out wide and do 10 step overs and then we're boning the ball in. Not going to do that. But he can he'll get to the goal. He'll get to the goals, and you can't look at CR7. Of course, I think that Messi is a goal, and I've said so on this platform many times. But Ronaldo is a great player. He's a great player. And even at 36, he can still do damage.
Just fans, in case you don't know already, right? My dear brother Shaq and I always disagree on this. He's on the Messi side and I'm on the CR7 side. But that's good. It's nice to have balance, Island fans.
I don't think we disagree anymore. I think you said that Ronaldo is a goat, and I just say, locally, the people who are watching locally will understand when I say Messi and Ram goat.
All right. Well, put it this way: you can't have two ram goat in the same pen, or even two dominant goat. You can't have two dominant goats.
He does the goat.
Okay, all right. We know Cristiano can never be next to somebody like that. That's just who he is. It's all about Cristiano. But for real though, I've tried to analyze that whole ram goat and just say, how about we have two different sheep pen? Okay, you ram go to yours and I ram go to mine. Can we at least agree to that?
Josh, I'm good at saying that these two goats, what they have done for the sport of football in our generation is unthinkable. What they have done is crazy. You look at their numbers. Sky Sports was just going over it maybe an hour or so ago. Ronaldo is joint top scorer internationally. He has the most goals in the Champions League, most assists in the Champions League, the most hat tricks internationally, and the list goes on and on and on. And Messi, in his own right, has broken so many records over and over again. So what they have done, I'm put it this way: I'm blessed to have watched them all throughout their career in my lifetime.
Once you hear jumping here talking to me saying, Josh, remember you're going to admit Messi as the ram goat if Ronaldo had joined City. Yes, I was going to do that. 100%. And you know what's interesting? You know what's interesting is that I went and I checked all the other Man United fan forums, and I could feel that we all were so vexed. And I didn't feel so bad, Munchie, after I made that statement on the show live, because Rio Ferdinand said that he called up Cristiano and he basically told him the same thing. What the heck are you doing? I'll go with you. Ever told him the same thing too. And I remember this other guy I follow on another channel, I won't mention it here, that he said same thing. He had a whole show where he was like, if you are doing this, I'm done with you. And we have a right to feel that way because you can't betray him. So, but I've always maintained, and Shaq will tell you this, I've always maintained that I honestly cannot deny the utter greatness and GOAT status of Lionel Messi. I cannot do that, and he is absolutely amazing. And when you think about it, amazing can't even touch it. And when I look at the two players, I see a mutual respect they both have for each other. That's what I like about it. I like the fact that they have each other's games. So on one hand, I can think about that time when Messi, I think he was against Atletico Bilbao, I think, and he was on the right side of the field and he beat about six players and then score. But then when I look at Cristiano, I look at Cristiano and I say, when he was at Juventus and he literally jumped about 1,000,000 feet in the air to score that header. I mean, those are two moments where I wouldn't see either one of them doing the other, but saying that that's just greatness personified, and I always tell people now, when it comes down to who you pick, it comes down to what you value in football, and what you love about the game. And the things that Messi does that people say, you know what, I love that. And I can't blame you, but the things that Cristiano does that I just say, you know what, you're my GOAT. So again, if I see Messi tomorrow, I'm taking several pictures of him, and I'm putting GOAT next to it because he's on that level there. So I just said, let's put the two of them there, and let's put two of them there, and then put a massive gap, and then we can then put some other people there, like probably like Ronaldinho and Zidane and R9 and them there in that status there, and then you have above average players. And then you have Henry and can be in there. Them people up there are just amazing. We got some people here talking. Yeah, we see Pemberton saying, oh, definitely, he is, especially with how Brighton play football, will be a serious problem if Lamptey comes back the way he left.
Read this one, day, Josh. The first one.
A lot of excitement for the next fixtures. I would say, Cucurella, thank you. Is also one to watch, especially depending on how fast Lamptey gets back off injury. Yeah, definitely to perform at Brighton. I agree with you.
When
definitely.
I saw this move, I thought that this was an interesting one because I didn't see. I've watched Cucurella over there in La Liga for a while, and I didn't think that Brighton could pull this off. But I guess it speaks to the project that Brighton has going on over there. I think that Cucurella is indeed a baller, as Barcelona also saying that Cucurella is a monster. Hope he is a monster. Hope he develops well in England. I think so too. I think he can.
Yeah. You know what I find fascinating too?
Sorry, not cutting you off. He too can play multiple positions. I think he just plays anywhere on that left side and even slot into midfield as well.
Okay. Just to come off of that same Messi conversation, I just realized that the two goats end up moving in the same window. Isn't it a crazy window, Shaq? That they end up moving teams.
They said that Ronaldo, all the cameras were on Messi. So Ronaldo said, man, let me just get a move to man. Let me let somebody talk.
I tell you, I would not, trust me, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason. And the thing about it too is that from a business point of view, the amount of money that these two clubs are going to make from shirt sales is crazy. The PSG shirts were going like mad just to get Messi shirt. So it's amazing.
Not just the teams, especially Premier League is big already. League One, their rating has soared. I think the other game, just Sunday when Messi made his debut, they sold out that stadium, which would not have normally been a sellout game. Sold out that. And I think after the match too, those players had brought the kids onto the pitch to take pictures with Messi.
Oh man, that's crazy. And for the United side too, I mean, the amount of, when they get the 7 start out, the amount of shirts the United fan base is going to buy. I mean, I think they will basically cover in about 6 months' time cover his entire amount of money they're gonna pay him till 2023 from shirt sales alone. I can honestly
Right.
say so. The amount of money they're gonna make, and so good to see that the fans are back. I mean, it was so funny, and this is on a
Oh,
political
yeah.
note, right? So that we're here wearing masks, and then we're watching these England games, and nobody have a mask. You know, notice?
Just
I have a couple
bad.
of
Just
friends in
bad.
England. I have a couple of friends in England right now, Shaq, and they're just taking all these different Instagram stories, panning around, and nobody have a mask. Everybody go on like no COVID day.
Yep.
I was like, what the? And we over here kill out. There's some shut down school
Yep.
anyway.
Ah, we got
So,
Delta variant. Yeah, we don't know
so
the
what
Delta
else?
variant over there, right?
Okay, we know. Maybe have the
But
Delta
okay, but
vaccine.
Josh, to be fair,
Mhm.
I think most of that population has
Yeah,
been at least, I mean not say fully vaccinated. So maybe like
yeah,
70% has at least had their first jab already. So
you
they are
have to be
way
that.
along, they're way ahead of us.
Yeah, you have to be that because I was just like, I'm happy because I mean, you go sweet when Cristiano scores his first goal at the Stretford end with a fully packed stadium. I mean, he go real sweet, but it'd be so retarded though because I think that's what Ali said to Cavani. You can't leave us go back to South America and don't score on the Stretford end with fans in the stadium. You can't leave yet. You
Yeah.
gotta stay. So he's staying for that reason. Let's switch it up. See, Arsenal, you bought another defender. I mean, y'all finding these people somewhere though. I don't know where y'all. I never even heard about this guy. Tell us about this guy.
Well, I can't tell you much more. I know he's played for Bologna in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's 22 years old.
Really?
He's really good on both feet, right foot, left foot. He can play right back. He can play centre back. He can even play left back. So I'd be lying here if I say, you know what, this man, boy, I don't know about this man, boy, this man, I want baller. I'd be lying. But
mm,
we've made some shrewd signings over this summer, fitting a
mm,
particular profile. I think that he would join the list, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I know much fans, and I'll
mm,
admit it here. Much fans. This is not the name that much fans wanted. You wanted
mm.
well, they wanted the Max Aarons. They wanted the bigger names. Even the Emerson
Yeah.
dude that went to Tottenham.
Mm,
They wanted like us and Yasifa. They want names that are in lights already. They want the glamorous
yeah.
signing. But I think that
Mm,
this guy, when you watch, and of course, everyone looks better on YouTube. Everyone looks
mm,
better on YouTube. But when I look at him and see what he can offer, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. It
mm.
makes
Well,
no sense. It
I
makes
won't
no
even
sense
pretend to
that for
pronounce
me
his
to knock
name.
for me to knock him before he's before I even
Yeah.
seen him play the game. Play a
You're
game.
right. You're right. You're right. Give him a shot. 23, 22 years old, going for 23 million. Takahiro,
Tommy
to Tomiyasu. Okay, all right. Look, right. The products coming out to Asia in general, I can't say have been bad. It's like if you're gonna come out to Asia, you generally have something about you that's special. Yes, he was playing for Bologna, but then they would have seen something, and he's had time to make mistakes at that level, and learn and develop himself. So hey, big ups to him. I hope he does well. I hope this
I
transfer
mean, the,
bodes
the
well for him.
reporters, the reporters in England, the reporters
Hmm.
in not in England, in Italy, they've all said
Yeah.
that, you know what, he's a bright prospect, and that's what he is. At the age of 22, you can't say that he's ready made already. He's a bright prospect,
Hmm.
and for us to pick him up, look at it this way: I was saying to Jamal earlier, it could either go really wrong or he could be a gem. He could turn out to
True.
be a gem.
Yeah, yeah. Amija here says here, United to sign Neves. We're hoping. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
21 minutes
I'm
left, Josh.
Amija that that's the case. I really hope so. I've been, if anybody knows that when I play manager mode on FIFA, I haven't done it this year. I haven't done it last 2 years actually. Actually, no, I did do it this year. That I always buy Neves every single time I buy this guy to be my midfield. And even last game against Wolves just shows me why I need to buy him. Right, him, Pogba, and Bruno in the midfield, would just be amazing. Have three Portuguese internationals, that'd be great. So we'll see. I hope it's a scenario where United are doing the paperwork now, and it won't be announced until after. But I'm not even hearing no news, and I'm hearing no rumors, nothing. So we'll see where that go. All right. We have Munch here saying, Shaq, what about signing a coach? You want to answer Munch, you're gonna leave that one alone.
Wow.
It's Munchie. Okay. 22 minutes left. Conte available. Munchie trolling as usual. Shamoy says, couple minutes left and City can't send anybody else. Yeah, Moy. I mean, if you look rough for me, you definitely look rough for you, man. I don't see much of that happen. I hope when I get in the last minute, nothing sign somebody great. But a couple people here I want to talk about too. That we're on transfer day and we're no longer talking about Kunde. So what did they there?
Oh yeah, I'm saying that is dead.
Yeah, that deal is off. Negotiation between Sevilla and Jules Kunde are off, so that's dead. You know, and Real Madrid made a new official bid for 200 million for Kylian Mbappe. And this morning PSG did not reply. PSG will not sell. Real Madrid are certain they can sign a 2020-year-old on a contractual agreement in January for him to come for free. Shaq, crazy thing, right? $200 million. That's a lot of money. Your thoughts on that?
That's a lot of money for us, but for these PSG owners, that must be Trump change because they are willing to let Mbappe part ways with them next year on a free. My thinking, I think that they are thinking in their minds that let's do our best this season. Let's win the Champions League with Messi, with Neymar, with Mbappe, and hopefully that convinces him to sign an extension. However, he said yesterday that he's not interested in signing any extension with PSG. He wants to go to his boyhood club. So for them to just let this year play out is beyond me though. It's beyond me that they can pass up 200 million. That they can pass up 200 million and be okay with life. However, the great Arsene Wenger said, I think it was back in 2017, that players, they want to see more players run their contracts down now. So I think this is where player power now comes, and I think a lot of players now are leaning towards that, running their contracts down, because it bodes well, it bodes better for them in the long run. Because all that, just imagine, Kylian Mbappe can now, he and his representatives can now go to Real Madrid and say, that 200 million you're going to pay PSG, I want it over my contract. I want it. And I mean, what are they going to say? Oh, we don't have that, or we will just bluff in? Really? So I think it bodes much better for him in this case.
And the crazy thing about that is that where we would get 200 million from? That's what we want to know. Because as far as I was concerned, they were in debt. And I remember Jamal, we're missing Jamal on the show. I remember Jamal making the point that they think they had put the stadium on. They did something with the stadium. I don't remember what he said. He was saying something financial where they I don't know if they did a refinancing. I think it's a refinance, he said, of the stadium to get the extra money, plus sell a couple of players like Odegaard and so forth, just to get enough money to be able to do this. But it's sad. You're muted if you want to talk. It's sad because that's the case. You got Munchie here saying, Erling agrees personal terms in Man City. I'm smelling it. I'm not. I'm not, because I'm pretty confident I'm gonna get Haaland next year. But this goal is okay, Munchie. We can fight it out. Let's see who have more money. All right. A couple people that are not going anywhere. Danny Olmo, he as well too. Barcelona wanted to sign him, but that's not happening. He's staying with RB Leipzig. Pretty good player though. Shaq.
Josh, let me jump in here because Barcelona, they have moved from MSN to now having Brathwaite, and I think they're rumored to be getting Luke De Jong as their front man. Look how the mightiest fallen. I think it's a real picture as to how this pandemic have impacted even the biggest clubs in the world.
Sure, and it come down to how well you manage your books, because you saw the amount of debt they're in. They think they posted the debt stuff the other day. That is crazy. I believe this is why you always want to you try to keep up with the Joneses and just looking over Real Madrid and seeing all the money they must spend, and then we try to keep up with them, and then they realize it not work now. So they, let's see what happens there with them. All right, and Awa, man, like nobody want to buy the poor Awa boy. I mean, it's like Arsenal want
Something
him,
wrong
Real
with that.
Madrid, Tottenham, and he doesn't even cost that much. What's going on?
Something wrong with that because last year, before it
Mm,
was either Thomas Party or him, they wanted 50 million. Okay,
mm,
we got Party. Now this season they even dropped it down to 20 million now. These are the figures that are being
yeah,
banded around. 20
yeah,
million, 70 million, even on a year loan with an
yeah.
option to buy the next year. So I don't know what's going on with Awa. I think that everybody like Tottenham and Arsenal, they were in for him. Real Madrid wanted him to. He was a big name last year. But
Mm,
I don't know if the market body wised up to himself as his talent. I just don't know what's going on there.
yes, solid point there. Speaking, let's stay with Arsenal. I see you guys have loaned out Hector Bellerin to Real Betis on a loan deal there. 26-year-old heading over there, wage cut to move to
Yeah,
the Emirates. Why? I heard he's been in Arsenal for what, 10 years now?
yeah. He's won 3 FA Cups. He's been there while he came through. We got him from the Barcelona academy. Um,
Mm,
when you look at Hector Bellerin, I think it's been really rough for him in terms
mm,
of coming back from the injury. He had a whole documentary on his injury too, and I've been injured. I mean, not that particular injury, but I've been injured on a long term, and I know that you don't just get up the next day and you feel the same way. And you can
mm,
see how Hector Bellerin, you can see his movement. He doesn't look the same player. Doesn't look the same player. His crossing is not the same. His
mm,
speed was his best attribute. Even if he had gotten beaten, he can recover. But now that is taken away from you. And that is taken away from you now. How you doing? That's taken away. When you don't have that anymore at your disposal, you now become a liability because then you're
mm,
easily beaten and you're not able to recover. So I
yeah.
think he was well past his prime, and this is just
Mm,
down to injury. However, I hope that this is his boyhood club too. Real Betis. He said his father supported Real Betis as a kid.
yeah.
So I hope it can go well for him. I hope it can go well for him. I hope he can rediscover some good form. Make the Spain national team. I mean,
Hmm.
I have no ill thoughts towards Bellerin. I have no ill thoughts towards Bellerin. He did his time. He did his tenure. He left. He didn't make no noise. He didn't rant and rave. He just got on with his business, and now he's got his move to go to Real Betis.
Speaking of movies, staying with Arsenal, 21-year-old Reece Nelson has signed with Feyenoord on a season-long loan from Arsenal. I'm gonna try a little banter. I don't normally do banter. Banter is not my thing, Shaq, but I'm gonna try a little banter. I'm gonna say here that United actually agreed for Ahmad, my guy Ahmad Diallo, to go on loan to Feyenoord. He was supposed to go. Everything done, scrap up everything. And what they're saying is that they went for your guy after my guy got injured in training. So how does it feel to be second place? I'm just playing.
Second place to
Look
what?
at
I mean, yes,
I'm kidding. I'm
there's no
kidding. I think they
hiding
wanted
that
them both.
Diallo got injured. Diallo got
Mm,
injured, and that's why this opened the door for Reece Nelson. I
mm,
actually preferred that he would have gone to Crystal Palace. I think he could have
mm,
done really good there. But
yeah,
hey, I'm gonna be the biggest Feyenoord fan right now because
yeah.
Reece Nelson is one of our academy products, but I
Hmm.
think is an absolute baller. Why he
Yeah,
hasn't
I
gotten
agree
a
with you.
chance yet? Why he
Hmm.
hasn't gotten a chance yet? I don't know. He when Arteta came in, he was getting minutes. What? Okay, let me not put it this way. Every time he's having a good run in the team, featuring in the squad, I should say, not the team, not the
Yeah,
first 11, but in the Madrid squad. He gets his injury, and it's not injury while playing, it's injury during training, and then he's
yeah.
out now for 3 weeks. And then by the time he comes back,
Mm,
he's lost that place, and it's just been that stop-start kind of career for him. So I'm hoping he goes over there like when we loaned him into Germany. In Germany, I
mm,
think to Hertha, he bossed it over there. So I'm hoping he bosses over there in Netherlands, and he can come back. He can come back because he signed an extension before we left to go on loan. I'm hoping he could come back and he could start featuring our team.
Yeah, and then y'all sell him like y'all did that guy at Newcastle. Yeah, I'm still annoyed about that, but yeah.
Oh, will I?
Yeah, I mean, I totally get the whole thing about putting him on loan. That's the reason why Ahmad did. We wanted to put him out there as well because we didn't think he's going to get enough game time in the positions that we have very strong right now in that area. But speaking of not getting game time, and speaking of Arsenal has told 24-year-old Maitland Niles he will not be training with the first team after his Instagram post sharing his desperation to leave the Emirates yesterday. Just a few minutes left. Is he going anywhere or is he staying?
No, that has been cleared up. He's back training with the first team. What the reports were saying was that if a suitable offer did come in for him, Arsenal wouldn't have stayed in his way. That didn't happen. I think Everton wanted. He has 2 more years left on his contract. This is what these reports. Of course, I'm not there. These are reports. He has 2 more years left on his contract. Everton wants him on a 2-year loan without an obligation to buy. Effectively, what you're saying is that after these 2 years, he could go on a free. I mean, Arsenal can't accept that. Arsenal cannot accept that. So, I think they said he had cleared the ear talk with Arteta today, and Arteta has told him that he's going to be part of the plans moving forward this season.
What's fascinating about that is that he's 24 shot. He's 24 shot. He should be playing regular football. Starting football, don't you think? At 24?
Yeah, right. So then that means someone who wants him that badly should come in for him and pay the price that is necessary to get him. You would agree?
I would agree.
Right.
Sadly, though,
until that happened. I was saying, Sam Allardyce said, because he was with West Brom last year, they got relegated with Allardyce at West Brom. Sam Allardyce said the problem with Maitland-Niles, even the move in January, he said that Maitland-Niles forced that move because he wanted to play. He wanted to play, and he wanted to play central midfield. So here we are. I mean, I was talking to Joe about this. He doesn't want to play right back, which I think he's the best right back at our club. No, he wants to play central midfield. Of course, options are limited in the middle of the park. But let's see what happens. It's a funny one, Jack, because he got selected to the England team playing wing back. But he won the FA Cup. He was playing wing back. He made the England team after that. And then I guess he want where he wants it. It's similar to Axe.
You want what you want. I didn't even realize that Moriba from Barcelona got sold to RB Leipzig. Boy, Barcelona must be in some real trouble, boy, because he's supposed to be the next Pogba. You know?
Money they're looking, boy.
That's crazy. And speaking of the next Pogba.
Go ahead. I was just going to go to the comments here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go to the comments.
I see Munchie is saying the Ajax left back move to West Brom collapse. What's his name? Is the Argentine? Fico. That collapsed.
Okay.
And he's, Munchie's big on West Ham this season. West Ham signed a nice camp from CSK Moscow. I think he's a Croatian.
Okay.
Vlasic. And he's saying here, he continues here, you guys don't sleep on West Ham. Antonio to score 15 to 20 Premier League goals this season. Mark his words. He's been big on that in the group. He's thinking that West Ham and more specifically, Antonio will have a great season.
Well, I hope he does. I think he deserves it. But he got to start to that defense if they want to challenge. But also we see here Kamavinga moving over to Real Madrid. United were thinking about him for a while there. But I mean, I think he always in his heart wanted to go to Real Madrid because I was told he's a big Zidane fan, and so he had dreams of playing for Real Madrid. So more power to you, because I remember that they said that he would come to United if they pay him A, B, C, and D. And when I heard that, I was like, now I make that happen. All he done say already, if you don't want to play for United, come. Okay? We're not on the money mercenary merchants over here. None of that. If you come to play for the badge. That we'll pay you well. We play for the badge. So go ahead.
Josh, I don't know. I'm looking at the TV here, and I'm seeing some news. I don't know if it's breaking news. So I don't know if it's worth playing our great little thing there, our great little video there for this news. It's Serge Aurier and Tottenham terminates his contract. I mean, Aurier is not. I mean, if somebody terminates a contract, I mean, you really
Well,
garbage,
it's
ain't it?
funny. It's funny you say that because I was just about to mention the fact that, of course, Barcelona and Tottenham had to deal with Emerson Royal for him to come over, and he plays
Right,
right back. And then you
right
have
back.
what's his name? You have the guy who's been a revelation this season. What's his name?
Tanganga.
The Tanganga, who's also playing right back. So then guess then figure Joey Aurier and he I'm saying
Yep.
terminate his contract. That's just it. You buy a right back and you terminate the other guy. I do it all the time on FIFA. I just go through and the first thing I do is going to start to terminate you gone, you put
Yeah,
alone. You tell them up
especially if you
front
check
who you
nobody
want.
coming for you, man.
So it makes sense. It makes sense definitely for that to work out for him. Yeah. So fans, we're almost there. We just got a few minutes left in the transfer window officially. And according to how it is usually done, of course, as long as they get all the paperwork in before 11 o'clock, they can do all the final details afterwards. All right. So you may hear some stuff between 6 and 7. If anything crazy happens, we'll just post something quickly on our social media,
3 minutes
Twitter,
left.
Instagram, and so forth, and Facebook, just to let you know. But so far it's been really great. Some of the transfers that have come out so far, and I gotta say it's been the Premier League as usual has spent a whole ton of money, in terms of transfers this season, and of course we mentioned just in general it's going to always be one of the greatest transfers if Messi and Ronaldo move, and they did. And that by itself has just made it so fascinating, So, looking at
But
it,
Josh,
just good chat.
would you say
Yeah.
that this is a quiet transfer window? I mean, no. I mean,
Cool.
you seen moves that okay, you know what? Hey, yeah, okay, I can see that move happening. I like that move. And there weren't no real back and forth, no real no two teams fighting
Mhm.
it out for a particular player. So most of
Yeah.
these moves were just straightforward moves. You expected or some good bargain deals.
Yeah.
So I feel.
Yeah. I agree with you. There was no fighting for a player. I think that for the most part, like that what happened was already prearranged before. Like with United, Varane knew he wasn't going to resign. Jaden knew since his last year he was coming. And then Cristiano
Yeah.
made his move because of his relationship with Juventus, and then Messi made his move because Barca couldn't, with the
Couldn't
whole
pay.
league thing,
Right.
couldn't pay in the money, or that wouldn't have happened. So you see, it felt like more of like a cause and effect kind of thing. This happened,
Domino
so by
effect. Right.
necessity,
Right.
something else had to happen. It
Yep.
wasn't more like everybody all out for one player. And COVID have a lot to do with that too, which
True.
is why next
True.
season is going to be a lot different because, hopefully the economy will bounce back, and then players like Erling Haaland
Yeah,
are
full
going to be up for
stadiums.
grabs, and so a lot of money is going to be passing around, I think, all over again, to see who goes where and so forth. I'm looking forward to it. We got what, a minute left, 2 minutes left
So
before it's
two
it's
minutes
it's
or so.
almost before it's down. All right,
1 minute
and no
35 seconds.
1 minute 35 seconds. So all the City fans, we might just get that last ditch Callum Wilson signing. That'd be great. United fans don't look like Neves is coming again. So we'll try for January. We'll try for January, and we'll just stick with Fred until then. Annoyingly,
Bissouma was
just
the player.
really,
Bissouma is the player that I
uh,
wanted. Really wanted.
I would have
I
taken
can't
Basuma
easily, I
myself right
can't
now
easily
too.
drive in.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of you didn't get anybody coming in. What about you? I thought they were supposed to get Traore. They were supposed to get Traore,
Ooh,
weren't
yo,
they?
Wolves were asking for 50 million.
Can't blame them. Can't blame them, Shaq. It's Harry
Wolves were
Maguire all over
asking for
again.
50 million.
Yeah, he's an important
Wow,
player for them. That's what they value him for. That's what they value
wow.
him for. You know, and
I,
the
I
way
thought
put it this
I
way,
thought Nuno would have gone to him.
yeah, because I knew how to use him. You know, and it'd be very very simple. Everybody say, look, right, all you have to do He just run down and then knock him in the box. You know how you knock him in the box? Just knock him in the box and make Harry Kane do the rest.
Yeah, Harry
That's the
Kane will be
plan.
doing it.
He gonna find a way to put the ball
Yep.
in the back of the net. It's sorry, Shamoy, you didn't get
15
you didn't get
seconds.
anybody. Yeah, you never know. I said Adama Waxy, but Adama worth
All
50
right.
mil though.
7, 6,
Oh
5,
man.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's
Transfer
it.
window is closed.
It's done. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So let's hope and see any residual things come out, I'm hoping, you never know what can happen. But of
In
course,
in in
fresh
this in
players
this
can
in
still
this
come
day and
over.
age, in this day and age, Josh, I find it hard. I don't know how come that the Danny Ings one, that was the best kept secret of this transfer window. But in this day and age, I find it hard to see that there could be a deal happening and no one know
Mm.
anything about it.
True. Yeah, there's so much of social media and so much of people talking and behind the scenes. It's crazy. Our transfers are so weird this year. Supposed to be the year to get a defensive midfielder, but we had to get it right. Yeah, I hear you. I know a lot of United fans be thinking that, but Ali believes in McTominay. I believe in him too. But the problem I
I
have
saw
is that McTominay just had surgery, and then now I have to play Fred and Matic. So, and I agree with a lot of United fans. Indicate how good our front end be. If the middle of the park not good, then what's gonna happen? But in McTominay we trust. Yeah, Adama is a cheat code, man. He just push and run, and we'll see how that go. If Adama could cross or shoot, he'd be up there with Hazard and Bill. I agree with you. In terms of
those are
speed,
some big names.
he is. But to be fair, Shaq, when speed kills. If he could just finish, he'd be such a good player. But he can't. He can't
Bill.
shoot. He can't shoot. He didn't have the dribble. He just run, and he's strong too. All right, Chico for FIFA, not real life. Yep, yep. He's like Moy in pro clubs, just run wild. Ooh, Moy, you gonna take that? But now the silver one, Ruben Diaz, the City, who who kept secrets. Ah, well, they were really big
I,
names
I,
before.
I don't remember the Bernardo Silva one, but I know Ruben Diaz has been banded around.
Yeah, that's why I feel something going to announce at City in the next. So you think so? Well, wishful thinking is a real thing. So go ahead, Munchie. You do your thing, man. Munchie
Oh,
gets your
whoa,
hopes
Josh,
high for no
here's this
reason.
one.
Uh huh.
Here's
So
this one.
breaking news.
Everton
Trying to
signed.
break.
I mean,
Go
you can
ahead.
do it.
That's why. Go
Everton has
ahead.
signed Solomon Rondon on a free transfer.
Yeah, come on. Good job. Run down this back in the
That's
Prem.
right, and that's Benitez's guy. Got him at
Yeah.
Newcastle. That's Benitez's guy. Rondon
Oh
get goals too, man.
man. He gets goals. Yeah, he give you a 10 goal, 11 goal. He'll give you that, man. He scores headers and he holds on the ball pretty well. He was always such a menace when we played against him. Shamoy here saying, I won't even talk about Kembe on clubs, especially when he playing centre back. I remember those days, boy. I'm coming back for that. I'm coming back soon, man. We just have to start on some things. But if Kembe playing with Kembe, I don't know
The
about that, but
22
Kembe give
coming
me
out this
horrors.
month.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the 22 and I'll be back. All right. Just back up for DCL. Huh? And speaking of that, y'all heard about the
All
Moise,
the
the Moise
need the
Keane,
backup, innit?
the Moise Keane
Moise,
move as well too.
yeah, he gone to Juventus 2-year loan
Yep.
deal.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Kembe, I like to see Michu back in the Prem. You need to let go of the
We need a
Michu
show
thing,
we can
man.
talk about these players
Yeah.
who just hit it off for a season and just disappeared.
Yeah, we'll see. We could probably do that this weekend. So we'll see how that work out. Players, what could have been. Michu's definitely up there. That 120 something goal season. O'Neal
Yep.
telling us Michu was the goat. Yeah, for that season for Swansea, man. Um, um, he definitely did.
Ball
He
man
did a
with
lot
that
of things.
celebration.
Who? Yeah, I remember.
He had that
I remember that.
celebration there, yeah.
He was on fire. But there were some players, man, that just had moments of fire. You remember the left foot from that dude, man, for that team, man, that played the orange. The yellow and the orange, man. What's his name?
Yellow and orange. You're talking about
It's
black,
not
not Blackpool.
It's Blackpool. It's Blackpool I'm talking about. What's the name of that?
Charlie Adam.
Charlie Adam left foot, boy. That Charlie Adam left foot at Blackpool, not Liverpool. Right? Man, when he swing that left foot, there something always happen. A goal, assist.
Yo, Moy have a wicked
that.
one here. Pape Cisse at Newcastle.
Yes.
The goal he scored from the left side versus Chelsea.
I remember that goal. In fact, I just saw Pape Cisse do a quote talking about Gerard's halftime speech in the Champions League final when they came back, and he's basically said that Gerard tell all the coach and the staff and everybody to leave and just he and the players alone. And he basically tell them, look, right, I have to win this year, and if I don't win this year, right, I'll mess up for me legacy, right? And he went and he said, Gerard, go out there, score, assist, play right back, do everything, and the man win. So, big ups to Gerard. I'm big enough as a United fan to say that. But yeah, Pape Cisse, when I think Pape Cisse, I think about Brockfoot. That's what I think about. Lord of mercy.
That's a different Cisse. That's a different Cisse, Gibril Cisse you're talking about, yeah.
I'm talking about Gibril Cisse,
for the Newcastle one.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Because I'm thinking Cisse. Yes. The same Pape Cisse that scored that crazy bend-up goal against Chelsea. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that one, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got a couple people. We see here, you say, how you all forget Lord Bettner? You can't forget Lord Bettner, man. Lord Bettner have more trophy than some.
That's one of the great ones.
He definitely is the greatest. Yeah. No.
I know. On the point you said Sanogo have more trophies than some people.
That's true. He is. So no last minute stuff from Sky for nobody saying anything this shot. No creeping in.
It's just the one from Everton with the Rwanda. There's the one Serge Aurier. His contract is out. Mbappe will stay at PSG this window despite Real Madrid prepared to pay 189 that's pounds for the France international forward. Real Madrid signed Kamavinga. The same stuff that we went over already.
Yeah, okay. Well, with that, then we'll close the show. Definitely want to thank all the fans for being in the show and giving your comments. Of course, we'll be back on Thursday to do our preview for the EPL, and of course on Friday.
No,
I said it again this time. That's true. I want the football so bad. Fans, I'm sorry. There's nothing on. There is no preview, but there's a show on Thursday. But there's no preview. All right, because it's internationals, man. You see, I don't know why they're having internationals, man. It's COVID, So I mean, they need to stop that.
That's a different conversation, there, man.
It is. So yes, fans, forgive me. Just my desire for EPL football is pulling me to that Thursday show for that. But we will have other things to talk about. You'll find out more about that on Thursday. Hope to see you guys then. And on Friday, don't forget Free Up Friday. It's still always Free Up Friday, so we can talk about anything. Any sports topic on Friday. If you want to be a part of the show, just let us know so that we can put you on. Okay, whether you're young or old, the link will be there. You can join and be a part of it. With that, I will close everything off and then just say thanks a lot, Shaq, and for coming in and us talking, giving you a wonderful commentary, and of course, I will see all of you on Thursday. Have a great transfer post day.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.